has-been actor resorted to extreme measures to grab the audience's attention, burying himself in a coffin to stage a comeback as a rising from the dead act, aiming to trend on social media. On the day of the funeral, all relatives, friends, and industry colleagues gathered to mourn the once top-tier star. The big screen continuously played clips of Nick's past performances, creating a somber atmosphere at the scene. In contrast to the sadness outside, Nick himself looked utterly content. Lying in his custom-made Starry Sky coffin, he ate and watched the live broadcast. His plan quickly paid off, as major media outlets began reporting on his untimely death. Watching the unsuspecting crowd outside still mourning him, he couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. Seeing his fans on short videos expressing regret for him, he felt a great sense of fulfillment. To celebrate his impending fame, Nick immediately pulled out the vodka he had prepared in advance and celebrated wildly. Soon, the funeral came to a successful conclusion. After all the guests had left, the agent who had organized the funeral rushed over with a shovel to rescue Nick from the grave. However, an accident occurred along the way. Seeing the agent covered in blood on the ground, Nick felt as though the sky had fallen. After all, only the agent knew about his act of feigning death. Even if the agent managed to survive, he would have to stay in the hospital for at least a few months, by which time Nick would already be nothing but a pile of bones. After briefly calming down, Nick considered seeking help from the police, but doing so would ruin his carefully planned scheme. After much deliberation, he abandoned this option and decided to seek help from his friends. However, his phone number was newly registered, and his friends didn't believe his messages, instead blocking him as a scammer. Seeing that no one believed his messages, Nick, unwilling to give up, tried calling his relatives and friends, hoping that at least one of them would believe him. But the result was the same: no one believed that he was Nick, who had just been buried. Seeing this, Nick felt utterly hopeless, never imagining that he would end up in such a desperate situation. Then he suddenly remembered his female assistant, who had been secretly infatuated with him and would surely believe him. He decided to give it a try and called her, but the result left Nick deeply disappointed. The assistant, like everyone else, also thought it was some prankster playing a joke. Nick decided to make a video call. Upon seeing this, the assistant was terrified, thinking Nick had come back from the dead. It wasn't until Nick explained the entire situation that the assistant finally believed him and agreed to come to his rescue immediately. Hearing this, Nick felt a huge weight lifted off his shoulders. Finally, someone believed him, and he could finally leave this damn coffin. To celebrate his upcoming happy life, he took out some vodka, took a big swig without hesitation, and then waited quietly for the assistant to come and rescue him. However, after waiting for a long time, the assistant never arrived. Instead, he received a call from the mental hospital. The caller asked if he was the family member of the woman with mental illness, as she had just grabbed a shovel and insisted on digging up someone's ancestral grave, claiming that the deceased actor Nick was still alive. Fortunately, the security guard at the cemetery noticed her in time, knocked her unconscious, and sent her to the mental hospital. Upon hearing this, Nick hurriedly explained the situation, but the nurse also mistook him for a mentally ill patient and hung up the phone without another word. Seeing his hopes shattered, Nick felt utterly despairing. How could he possibly escape this predicament?